Hello, it's been a while as usual on this channel, but stuff is finally happening in real life because I don't have my glasses on. It's August 24th and our lease in this place ends October 1st. And for those of you that don't know our current living situation, it's currently me, Kara, and my mom. But once our lease ends, it's just gonna be me and Kara, and this place is just too expensive for the two of us, so we're gonna be moving to a cheaper place come October 1st. The only issue though is that we're not gonna have a car because as of right now, we're just kind of sharing a family car, but once it's just the two of us, we're not gonna be able to bring that car with us. So I spent the last couple of months just looking up all different kinds of cars and potential things to get, and the car market's crazy right now, as a lot of you probably know. Like, used cars are more expensive than new cars in a lot of cases. Like, unless you're getting a car that's like 5 to 10 or even more years old, you're probably just better off getting a new car. I mean, if you can afford it, of course. And so the more I had been thinking about cars, the more I realized I really wanted to get a hatchback because it just seems so convenient for like moving stuff around or just being able to have like big bulky stuff like boxes or a bike or something like that. Being able to move that in your car. So the two cars that I thought of that I wanted after watching videos and reading reviews and stuff were either the Corolla hatchback or the Civic hatchback, both 2022s. And after doing a little bit more research, I decided that my preference would be the Civic hatchback. But we're moving out in a little bit over a month, and today I finally called up all these dealerships, and it turns out that like none of them have the Civic hatchbacks in stock. I did try a Toyota one as well, but they also did not have any of the Corolla hatchbacks in stock either. And it's just like multiple months waiting period. So like thinking about this now, I probably should have like reached out earlier because I didn't realize it'd be this bad for just basic cars like that. But I guess those are the most popular cars because they're the most reliable and most affordable. So we're in a bit of a pickle here. It's a bit unfortunate. We might just end up being a couple weeks without a car, but I think we'll survive. Point being though, today we are going into a Honda dealership to check out, well, they don't have any in stock, but they said I could test drive a different model of, they had like 2021 Civic hatchbacks and they had a different model of the 2022 Civic hatchback. So I'm gonna test drive one of those, and if I like it, they said I could put a $1,000 down payment. Just that I could get a refund anytime if I end up not liking it, or even after it comes in and I test drive that car and I don't like it. It's just to show that I'm serious about it, but it's not going to actually lock me into anything. So that's what we're going to be doing in a few hours, test driving and maybe even making the first steps into the process of buying my first ever new car. But the dealer guy, salesperson, doesn't have to know it's my first time buying a new car. Oh God, I have a pimple there. Just to show you, this is basically the car that I'm really looking at. On the phone, he said that the starting MSRP for this type was, I think, like $24,750. So I asked him, after all the taxes and fees and everything, what is the cost expected to be? And he said around 33K. So I'm like doing the math in my head. So we have the car, we'll say 25K plus like 1K for the delivery fee. So it's 26K plus taxes. That probably brings it up to like 28 to 29K, maybe registrations included. So there's like an extra 3 to 4K that I want to find out where that's coming from. Is that just all the dealer markup or what? I'm sure there will be like an itemized list of everything. So I guess ideally I'd like to have below 30K, but I really don't know how much room there is for negotiation in this day and age, but I'd be happy to get under 30K. I mean, yeah, we'll see. I haven't even test driven the car yet, or the other model of the car yet, but I just assume I'm gonna like it, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, it is the next day now. We spent like all of last night for like 3 or 4 hours, or maybe a bit longer, at the Honda dealership and the Toyota dealership. And I could talk about this for such a long time, but I don't want to make like a 30-minute video just talking about the experience there. But basically, you know, it's my first time buying a new car. I've never been to a dealer before or dealt with car salesmen. And I learned a lot about them. They like to learn a lot about you so they can use that as leverage against you in negotiations. And well, I mean, they didn't budge at Honda. So told them I'd go over to Toyota, and well, I went over to Toyota and they were nice there. It was very low pressure situation over there. But Honda was still my first choice. I'm just covering up some stuff here. It was still my first choice. So today I called up a couple other Honda dealers and saw like what they had, if I could like pre-order or put in like a deposit down. And one of them, this one, did have some available to pre-order where I could guarantee my name on it because At the other place we went to yesterday, they wanted, was it 33.7 or something? They would not budge whatsoever. On top of that, they didn't even have any in stock. It was just like to put me on, well, they had one in stock. It was black on black, which I didn't want that for the desert. But even then, it was just like put me on a waiting list, and if someone had canceled out or asked for a refund for their deposit, then I'd be able to rush on over there and try to be the first one. Versus this place, there was no kind of waiting list. I mean, there's still a waiting list, but I don't have to wait to be on the waiting list. So this was the final price of the car. I did try to haggle down to 32K, but I think they knew they had a bit of leverage there, so I wasn't gonna walk out of a deal over $300. And this is still like $1,400 cheaper than the other place that said you could not get it cheaper anywhere else, they were the best, yada yada, typical salesman stuff. I know it's not the best market, probably one of the worst markets ever in history to buy a car right now, but you could have said that a month ago, you could have said that 6 months ago, a year ago. Who knows when it's gonna get better? I mean, I don't mean to sound like a grown-up here, you know, but with the interest rates increasing, prices might start coming down a bit. But unfortunately, I don't have a choice. I need to have a car. Okay, well, you don't need to have a car, but it'd make life a lot easier to have a car. So I really do want to have a car. So Las Vegas is just not a very walkable city, or at least not the area that we live in. But yeah, they said they're going to be produced, or the production is going to be early September, and then they're expected to arrive mid-October. So that is going to be a couple weeks after we move, but I think we'll be fine not leaving the house for a couple weeks. I think I've done that a couple times. Yeah, just a couple times in my life before, not leaving the house for a couple weeks. There was one other dealer that didn't have any available at the moment, but they had basically no markup, and it's going to be 28.5K. And he said he would give me a call back over the next, well, whenever, if someone does drop out, and I could rush on over there and be like the first one to take the spot of whoever wants their deposit back. So I'm not banking on that happening, but just in case, there is that backup plan to get something around 28.5K, which would be amazing, saving like $4,000. But that's just the backup plan. Or I guess you could argue this is the backup plan. That's kind of what I'm hoping for, is to get the cheaper one. But either way, I'm very glad that I have a car at least secured. I did test drive the Civic and the Corolla yesterday, so I did figure out that I do in fact like the Civic better. And as you can see, I'm making some hash browns right now. But yeah, it was nice today because I didn't have to go through the whole test drive and making the small talk and all that. I just went on in there, I knew what I wanted, and we're gonna begin the car. What? Just hash browns for dinner? You've got to be kidding me. Bone apple teeth. Time for another little life update. I'm currently eating dinner, by the way. I have some chickpeas, rice, and chorizo. But the update is in regards to where we're going to be moving to. It is August 30th at the moment, and our lease ends October 1st. And we are currently working with a real estate agent to find a place that we can rent. And we gave her a few addresses, and she called them up to try and get the keys or whatever to be able to like show us around. But it turns out, it seems like every place has a 2-week grace period. So if we were to go see the place and apply, we would have to move in 2 weeks, so like middle of September. And obviously, we don't need to move in that early because then we'll be paying rent for 2 places. So at this point, we pretty much just have to wait until the middle of September, I suppose, or at least like a week into September. Because we want to move in like near the end of September, like the September 26th or 27th or something, just to give us a few days to move all of our stuff from this place into the new place. But unfortunately right now, I guess it is still a little bit too early to be looking at places and trying to send in applications. Anyways, here's a song I've been working on recently, and by recently I mean for like one day, that I just started learning right now, but I love this song. Dead dreams and debauchery scenes. I spent the last $3 on the last thing that I'll need. There's no way that I'll end in the black for this term. Guess I got a lot to learn. Okay, are we rolling?
Yeah.
We're rolling. Oh, let me take my glasses off. Okay. So I am eating a mango today for lunch, and I just want to show you this way I recently found out to cut mangoes. This probably isn't the best way to do it with my hand, just kind of right behind the dull knife, but these were, I think, $1 each from Walmart. We don't have mangoes too often, and I just saw them there. I'm like, oh, this is a somewhat good deal. So decided to get a few, and I will show you my. This isn't very safe. A dull knife is more dangerous than a sharp knife, by the way. Okay, so I make it into fours.
It's not that dull. I just sharpened it like a week ago.
Maybe I'm just bad at using knives then.
Yeah.
But I didn't look at any YouTube videos. I just thought of this in my head, and then it actually worked out. Although one of the mangoes, it was less ripe than this, and it was like stringy when I was pulling it off. But now that this is ripened a bit, it's just coming straight off like this. And then we're gonna have just a big naked fruit once I tear all this off. And now this is a mango, and these are tots. Put the camera on the tots. Yeah. You have to get your own.
Animal.
Thank you. Hey, wait, bring your head over the phone. We'll be in the middle right here. And then you bite that side and I'll bite this side. It's not so romantic. Did I drip on the phone? No, I dripped on the table. Today is September 5th and we're at the park. And this is a terrible idea and everything's super hot. It's like 110 degrees or something. This bar is so hot. We should jump in here and make it.
Are you having fun?
Yeah. Wow, this is just like being a kid again, just all alone on the playground. It's a very hot day today. We're in the middle of a heat wave, but this is Kara's favorite store, I believe, that they just built here. It's was it Japanese store?
Yeah. It's basically like a dollar store from Japan.
Yeah, and everything's a lot more expensive than the dollar there. We got.
It's not that much more expensive.
It's a lot more than a dollar. But we got all these snacks and stuff, and we're going to go see a house right now because we're moving in a few weeks, so we'll see if we like this one. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Stephanie. Happy birthday to you. Don't tell us what you wished for. 35, right?
Since I'm the one that had the twins, I usually had a question. I had to print them out. You know what that means?